Hey everyone, it's Stormer here, and welcome back to From the Depths with Philip. Say hi, Philip.
Hello.
Since we last left off, there's been an update. So we have a bunch of new blocks. There's all these new beautiful transition blocks, and these blocks over here. It's wonderful. Everything got reorganized in the inventory. It's wonderful. There's a lot less
Yeah.
sub inventories. They also have tons and tons of new prefabs for everything. Like at this point, you could pretty much build an entire ship just out
Oh,
of
you can.
prefabs. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
They got straight up whole pieces that you can
Yeah.
put together.
And also, since we last left off, we made prototype 2.0. So it's all painted. That's probably the biggest thing you can see. But every single gun on this ship has been replaced. There's new armor layering on the inside, so there's just some thick metal. Then there's wood and applique paneling on the inside of the pontoons. Uh, the channels on the inside here I took out because I think they were actually increasing drag, even though they were supposed to decrease drag. Steam engines have been switched out to one piston steam engines, which also I did that on the Destroyer and Mighty Mo. Just swapped it to one piston steam engines. The back gun is completely destroyed. It's gone. There's some nice simple grenade launchers there. It's all sloped. The laser system has been completely redone. Also, a very nice turret top. It's smaller than the last one, and it's actually way down here in the bottom. It's very similar to the original, except this time it works. So how much damage does it do?
It's
7,000 sustained damage and 112 AP damage. That's a lot. The front guns have been changed. They still have the 6 barrels. It's still an advanced cannon. You can
except their differences have been they shoot a lot faster and a lot more consistently. Tram cannons have been completely replaced with
Yeah, with more
um,
advanced cannons.
usually strong Hesh.
Okay, so those ones have Hesh. There's these missile launchers back here. Those are completely new. And you could always just take this and make a spaceship out of it. It's the next gen TIE fighter here. Lamb system, we added more nodes up front, so now there's 4 sections of nodes. The top cannon is now a 1 barrel railgun instead of a 3 barrel just normal gun. It just shreds with all the AP it has. The pontoons, as you can see, the entire missile system, those 120 missiles, are all ripped up and gone. Now, there's 2 large missiles back here, and if you go on in here, it's not just one large missile. Ton of tiny small missiles. They have a bunch of EMP damage. So one of these missiles will split into a bajillion small missiles and just absolutely destroy a ship with EMP. So it does the same job as the original. It just does it in a different way and cheaper way and less laggy way. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
also there's a third steam engine and third propeller. So that's there. And also these are now even with the pontoons. They're centered. So that's very nice. It's faster than the original. And we also moved around a bunch of stuff. So the ammo is split up into, I believe, 3 different sections. So there's one in each pontoon, and then the one right up here at the front of the ship. And it's metal and heavy armor, and then the ammo. So hopefully nothing can get it. Then the batteries and RTGs have been moved to the pontoons, and back here by the laser is the material storage, which there's a lot more material storage this time, and the AI system is way back here by the laser, and that's about it. So it has been completely changed from the original. The pretty much the only thing that's the same is the look of this ship. The whole of the ship is the same. Everything else has changed. We are thinking about entering a tournament competition. It's about 2 months from now, and we are thinking about possibly entering this ship into that competition. So we are working on another version of this ship for the competition, because there's a few things that you can't have in the competition because of the set of rules they have. So one of the things being you can only have up to 20 missiles and torpedoes. So we have 2 large missiles instead of 120. Even though this setup does basically the same thing because it's the cluster missiles. Another thing is you can't have a laser system. You can have a LAM system. You can't have a laser system. The turrets can't spin more than 20 degrees per second. Now, if I show you how fast these things can move, it is insane. So if we go up here, look at how fast this thing moves. It's insane. It's like over 100 degrees per second.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So we have to limit those for the competition. That's something we're working on. So we have Prototype 2 and then Prototype 2 Tournament Edition. This thing, it goes about 29 meters a second. It can hit 30. That is conveniently the limit of the top speed of the competition. One of the other things is that you can't have anything moving in the vertical direction, so no Dedi blades and no hydrofoils, and along with all the other vertical propulsion stuff. And conveniently, this ship is using all air pumps and doesn't have a single hydrofoil on it. Now, some of the other ships that we've made, you've seen how many hydrofoils we put on those ships. Yeah. Those ships would not be able to be in the competition just because of that. So that's where we were thinking, instead of making an entirely new ship, we might just be able to modify this one some. With the update, it made all the ships increase in price a bunch. The original prototype increased about 30,000 material in price just because of the update. And this version of the prototype is not quite 600,000 material. The original with the update was 530. The amount of upgrades that we did on this thing and how much better this is compared to the original, it is worth the extra 70,000 material.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
70,000 material is nothing compared to the amount of damage and defense and speed and everything increase that we got from making a 2.0. Wonderful Nighttime's back. You know, we hate it. We hate it very much. One of the things I forgot a few episodes ago is that there's lightning in the game. I had no idea. There's lightning storms. Like, that's just crazy. Okay, that's the thing. There were 2 ships that viewers wanted us to upgrade. This one here was one of them. This one is called the Yonkers. I like what they were going for with it. I like the idea. The idea is really cool. The shape of it is very nice. The flat back, it looks like a World War II ship. It curves back some. The front is very smooth. We aren't going to be modifying this ship, but we do have some pointers for that creator if they haven't already just completely changed the ship in the last few months. Number 1 being the bottom of the hull, smooth it out completely. Just, there's all the new transition blocks. It can be smoothed out very easily. It'll just take some time. Also, it can probably be slimmed down some. Like, the back can probably be cut off some. It doesn't need to be as wide as it is. Like, the missiles and the simple weapons, they can be moved to either, like, simple weapons could go up here, missiles could go on top, or something like that. I don't know, it could be moved somewhere. There's all these AI system pieces around the outside, and while that is very nice, having tons and tons of detection, one is not protected. It's not protected from EMP. There's munition warning defense systems like every 10 blocks, which that's not very helpful because there's no LAM system on it, so it's not doing a whole lot. It might help with dodging some things, but even then you don't need that many. Most of them are also on the sides, And how they work is it's a hemisphere. So they're not actually detecting the full upper section of the ship. They see this section around the upper, but they don't actually see vertically above the ship. That looks like a tornado. The smoke coming out there. Holy cow. There's a tornado on the ship. Don't need as much AI stuff. Definitely don't need as many munition warning defense systems. You might get away with a couple on the top or something like that. You could hide the AI stuff. Wireless snooper doesn't need to be out in the open. It could be on the AI system on the inside. They did do a good job at protecting the AI system because there's a layer there and a layer there, and it's wood, so that's EMP proof, I believe. Scrambler ECM, that's pretty cool. They also split up the AI system, so some of it's up here and maybe even somewhere else in the ship. This top stuff up here, technically you only need one coincidence rangefinder, but it also kind of looks like Dreadnought Star Wars Star Destroyer or something like that. It's kind of cool. I like that design. Same with the smokestack, very cool. The inside having the staircase and all this open stuff, it's like, to me it gives off Titanic vibes, like walking up the grand staircase to the different levels and such. The guns, they seem to be decent, but you don't need 3-bore evacuators, and you could also have a muzzle brake at the front. They could get some more armor, like the top, even just covering the gauge increasers with even something as simple as the metal plates would work, but different design, make it look a little bit fancier would be cool. The whole thing, I mean, the Citadel area could look a little bit cooler. The simple weapons, they work. I don't know. This idea here is kind of interesting, putting twin simple weapons on a turret block. Interesting. Haven't thought about that. I don't know if it's super effective or saves a whole lot of space. It might not be super necessary, but it's kind of cool. Oh, you just took out a turret, Philip. That's insane. So it's not EMP proof. These turrets need some EMP help. There's also a bunch of areas of the ship where there's no air pumps, so it's sitting a lot lower in the water than it could. The propulsion system, it could be going way faster with some steam engines. These, I guess I haven't tested it. I could test it here in a second, but just shove a couple propellers out the back or something somewhere. You can be going super fast instead of this, and tons of drag caused by those, and same with down here, the keel stuff and ammo storage. You could have the propellers up here for turning, but also you could put some rudders in somewhere or something of the sort. Bunch of engines in here. If you go with the steam engines, don't need these anymore. Also, they have steam engines in here, but they're just to generate electricity. And Philip was noticing that they're not actually super great on generating electricity. So maybe that just has to do with the efficiency of the layout or something like that. I don't know. I haven't looked at them too much, but if you switched to steam engine propulsion, you could give those steam engines a little bit more oomph and then just hook up a generator to the same steam engine, and then you could make electricity that way. That's just an idea. You don't have to. You could keep independent steam engines for electricity generation. Armor is okay. They do have the metal, wood, and then light alloy stacking. Right here, there's a bunch of repair units. If you wanted these to repair your own ship, repair units, they repair other ships. You have to get repair bots. One other thing is that these guns don't have enough recoil absorption. So it has 300. I mean, I've seen them change a bit. Maybe go up to the front ones. These ones have 200. That one has 100 per second. That's 300 per second. That's weird that these are all different recoils. They probably have different firepower or something. They have a different ammo use. That's interesting. So they're not symmetrical. But this one has 300 recoil per second, but it can only absorb 100 per second. So that's another fix there. You have the right idea for the ship. It's sleek in design, not in execution, at least on the bottom of the hull. Gun idea, plenty of guns on there. The 3 barrels, I like it. Just tons of firepower. Tons of AI detection, very nice. Missile system. So you got the right idea. It just needs to be improved on. The other ship is the Hashidate. And they said, hey, can you make this ship stronger or hit harder or faster or something? Look at this thing. It is beautiful. Have you seen a more beautiful ship than this? It is mimic block galore. This thing lives and breathes on mimics. It is insane.
If you're on the ship, press middle mouse button. On the right, there's an option that says only view mimics. It's a little bow. Press that, and then just switch between normal view.
Oh.
Yeah, you see how much is just mimics?
It's not bad on speed. It has simple steam engines that get it going. We're not going to touch the ship because the instant we start touching this ship, it will not look as good as it used to. So the instant we start messing with things, it's gonna look way worse than it does right now, and we just don't want to go there. So we're just gonna say it's a work of art. It's not something that's going to go fight campaign battles.
Have you looked at the boiler system in this thing? It spans almost the entire length of the ship.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't need to be that big. It could be probably 3, maybe 4 blocks per 1-cylinder steam engine, and that would be perfectly fine for its RPM. And as you can see here, it says it needs to be at 46.67 RPM to rotate at max speed. It's sitting at about 40 RPM. And that means you get 3 or 4 large boilers together, you crank the burn all the way up to max, and you're going to be way over 46 RPM. So that will speed it up some. Some spotlights, there's the life rafts. Like, I mean, this thing is beautiful. This thing is a masterpiece right here. It is so cool. And there's even an inside with a dude. Like, are you serious? That's insane. It's so cool. And there's another dude right there. This looked like it was going to be a future gun right here. Maybe that gun's already been made. We just don't have that version of the ship. But I mean, the attention to detail of all these chains and ropes and all the whatever these are, the cables and ropes up here on the masts and stuff, the crate, it is insane. We'll never make anything that looks this good or this realistic. Oh, there's even lights at night. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
Oh my goodness, it's so cool looking.
On the APS guns, flak is not very good. Go with a Sabo solid, and then an AP head, and you'll have a much better gun system.
We're back for some more From the Depths. I can't promise that it'll be as frequent as it used to be, but we are working on some more ships and still have some ideas for ships that we want to do. I have one ship that is already partially done, just gotta finish it up, and that'll probably be the next episode. We also have a few challenges that we want to do too. So that's going to do it for this one. So if you liked it, share with a friend, and if you want to see more like this, hit subscribe. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.